In this video, I'm rolling with Mike again. Mike is a tough blue belt at the academy. He's 155 pounds, 52 years old. We're the same age. And he's a strong Irishman. And he has a very static style, but he's working on it. He's trying to, I said, the biggest lesson I could teach him out of this role was that he needs to just be much looser. As corny as it sounds, be water, as Bruce Lee used to say. So here I'm trapping his arm with my left arm like a back cup, like he barely knows it's there, so he doesn't resist. And I have my right hook. I'm already on my side, so I'm in a perfect position to just kick him over. Also, I could threaten the choke from there, but I didn't need to. I kicked him over. I came right up into a knee cut position. Now I'm backing out my legs while controlling his hips and sitting on his head. Here I was spinning to his back. He quickly turned. I have my knee on his hip. That controls that space. If I leave space between my knee and his hip, he's going to be able to get his knees back in. So there I had his arm across his chest in like a howdy choke style position. Here I'm giving him a little advice as we roll. Don't worry, I'm not talking the whole time. So here I'm keeping his head scooped so he can't get away and trying to pass at the same time. There he did a very athletic spin to gain his guard back, but I was trying to coach him into going the other way, and it would have made it a lot less simple, a lot more simple, less flashy, and more effective. For some reason, those things seem to be connected. So there again, I was setting up that same sweep, but this time I showed you how I could have reached over and went for the collar choke as well. You know, he needs to move here. So there I was able to get the same sweep again. And if you felt Mike, he's a strong fellow. So there, as he spun into me, I just went to put my one hand by his hip, the other around his head. He keeps making the mistake of getting his right arm caught under my shoulder. So I could finish with the howdy choke here, which I've done in a prior video with him. I'll put both his videos in the description. So there he tried to hip bump off and I went to mount, but not really. I'm on like a knee on belly. Now I'm in mount. That was quick. So when he hip bumps me when I'm in mount and he's flat and he goes to his side, I want to slide my left leg up his back. Here I have a wrist lock applied very incrementally. I noticed the wrist locks really come in handy when my partner is very strong. Because that hand by itself, that digit, after it's been isolated, after the arm has been locked in place, it's pretty weak. It's universally weak. So here he's trying to run around my guard, but I have my spider hook with the right foot on his arm. That's kind of improvised based off what he was doing. So that is a storm kimono gi, and it's huge on me because one of my training partners gave it to me. And at the time, I was heavier. What do you guys think of that, Guy? Leave a comment in the description. Do you think it fits my style? So this is an interesting position. I have my spider hook in on the right side. I can't believe how much of a spider guard player I became. Definitely wasn't early on and had no intention of trying to be. But I trained under Marcos Tinoco at Marcelo Academy for a couple of years. He was teaching the day class. And so much of what I do is based off his teachings. He also has a channel, Marcos Tinoco, Big Os. He just won the Masters World double gold. So here we're back in that position. I have his collar. I'm setting up that sweep again. As you can see, my hand's loose. It's not clenched in a fist. Reflective of my inner relaxed state, dare I say. So my foot's on his hip. I know I got him controlled. And now he's asking me about passing with the collar. You can still pass someone's guard if they have your collar. There I demonstrated an armbar from that position that was not caught during the free roll. We were having a chat session there. But yes, you still can pass someone's guard if they're grabbing your collar. If anything, that attaches them to you more, and it'll prevent them from getting up because they're too busy putting weight into the pull on your collar. See, as soon as he put his foot up, I grabbed it with my left hand. He has to give me something. So I almost had the spider guard sweep again. And I went right to the butterfly sweep almost seconds later. Now, what I did wrong with the spider guard is I didn't try to take him over my shoulder. I have to take him over the opposite shoulder of where my foot is on his bicep. I think I hit it a little bit later on. So here, this is one of my favorite positions to be in control. It's like I'm a little bit north-south, so he can't really grab my leg. It leaves his hips open so he could spin. And there I got the kimura. But if he was to try to spin out of it, then I would just go to a full body, upper body attacks. So I was kind of letting him, but he's not ready for that path yet. He didn't see it. See here, when he resets, he needs to instantly either pop his hips up, stand up, start pushing my legs down. He gives me too much time to think. So I'm trying to teach him to keep his arm inside of my butterfly hook. See, I'm teaching him to kick that hook off the right leg. Once I'm holding your right ankle, it's going to set up so many things for me. So what I was trying to say before is when somebody steps into your guard, they either have to give you their leg, or if they come with their hips back, they have to give you their sleeve and collar. There's always an exchange. And based off of what they give you is what guard you should play at that moment. I don't play a guard, I don't stay in spider guard for extended periods. See right here, I was able to go over my shoulder. Before, I didn't push in that direction, and he was able to ride it out. So a great sweep. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Again, I'm not playing spider guard, but when something's there from spider guard that I could use, to me, that's what playing open guard is, having all these options. You don't play one specific guard. There's so many variables, but hey, if I'm going to work on something 3-4 days a week, sometimes 5 days a week, I want to learn all the variables to every single form of interaction. See, here I'm trying to teach him that his legs are just floating. His foot should either be on my hip, kicking out my knee, trying to break my posture. It should be doing something. When your legs are just floating there, it's a very vulnerable position. And it takes very little effort or much less effort from your partner to pass. So here I have a typical armbar setup. He's strong, so when he turned into me and I knew he was going to break that setup, I went right to the crossface, and I have his right arm pinned to his body. Now, he could get out from here, in no gi especially, but in gi it's harder because of the friction. So he could lay more flat, lay into it to get out of that. Here I just showed him a very rough pathway to escaping that position. It's not detailed, it's not full of nuance. It's just shining a light down a tunnel that I want him to go one day. So here he's looking, again, stuck in my half spider guard. And I'm just trying to teach him to address the legs. You have to address the legs before you can pass. The grip fighting only benefits me at this point, because basically you're going to grab my legs and I'm going to grab your wrists. So I'm showing him ways of getting my leg out of the way. And that was my backup hook to prevent the pass, if you noticed. So apparently there's still some time left in this round. I think we did 2 6-minute rounds plus the break without stopping. Pretty good for 52-year-olds. I wouldn't say that he goes particularly easy either. So I'm teaching him to try to break that connection. Don't let me keep my feet on his hips. That's what I want. It's pretty hard to pass when someone's got both their feet on your hip. You have to address the legs. And usually in gi, when I'm on bottom, I'll grab your sleeve and then get my spider hook. In no gi, I'll grab your wrist and get my spider hook. But that ends the round. Put some new sound effects, graphics. Hope everybody's enjoying. So there I'm showing them a butterfly guard pass. It's kind of like the over-under pass. Like I said, some of the most valuable information comes at the end of the round when you go over some techniques together. Because by polishing his technique, I'm polishing my own. So there I showed him another pass. If you want to watch that again. That was pretty cool. To the armbar transition. It's a great ability, jiu-jitsu, to be able to climb all over somebody like that, to manipulate a resisting opponent, to attack their weaknesses. So here I'm explaining to him that there's strength plus technique. That's a formula. Right? So if you have a lot of strength and a little bit of technique, you're still going to be formidable against someone who has a lot of technique and a little strength. So it's good to have both. But the technique you could increase exponentially, whereas the strength has certain limits. Also, we only have so many hours in the day. I would rather just work on my technique rather than my strength. But I must warn, I've been lifting weights lately. Thank you for watching. If you want to help support the channel, there's an X-Martial link in the description. Anything you buy from there is 15% off using code JITSOver50. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, and if you haven't already, subscribe.